The Republic of China from 1912 to 1949 was a time of great change and turmoil. It marked the end of over 2,000 years of imperial rule. This period saw the rise of new political ideologies and the struggle for power. The era was characterized by civil wars and foreign invasions. It eventually led to the establishment of two separate states, the People's Republic of China and Taiwan. The Republic's history is crucial for understanding modern China. The Qing Dynasty, China's last imperial dynasty, ruled for over 250 years. By the early 20th century, it faced severe internal and external pressures. The 1911 revolution, led by Sun Yat-sen, marked the beginning of the end for the Qing. On January 1, 1912, Sun Yat-sen declared the Republic of China. This was a monumental shift from monarchy to republic. The Qing emperor abdicated, but the power vacuum led to chaos. The fall of the Qing dynasty was a turning point in Chinese history. After the establishment of the Republic, China did not achieve stability immediately. Instead, the country fractured into regions controlled by warlords. These military leaders had their own armies and ruled independently. The central government in Beijing was weak and struggled to assert control. The warlords period, roughly from 1916 to 1928, was marked by constant conflict. Different warlords fought for territory and influence. This led to widespread suffering and hindered China's development. The central government lacked the resources and power to enforce its rule. One significant warlord was Yuan Shikai, who briefly declared himself emperor. His actions further destabilized the republic and fueled distrust in the central government. After his death, the power vacuum intensified the chaos. Various regions were under the control of warlords like Zhang Zuolin and Wu Peifu. The rise of warlords was a major obstacle to national unification. It delayed efforts to modernize and centralize the government. The constant fighting drained resources and caused immense human suffering. The period highlighted the challenges of establishing a stable republic in a vast and diverse country. Foreign intervention played a significant role in the republic's history. Various powers, including Britain, France and Japan, sought to exploit China's weakness. They imposed unequal treaties and controlled economically strategic areas. This foreign dominance fueled nationalist sentiments among the Chinese people. The most significant foreign intervention came from Japan. In the early 1930s, Japan invaded Manchuria, a region in northeast China. This invasion marked the beginning of increased Japanese aggression. The establishment of the puppet state of Manchukuo in 1932 was a direct challenge to Chinese sovereignty. The invasion escalated into the Second Sino-Japanese War in 1937. This conflict overlapped with World War II and had a devastating impact on China. Major cities like Nanjing and Shanghai suffered immense destruction. The infamous Nanjing massacre saw atrocities committed against civilians. Foreign intervention, especially by Japan, influenced China's political dynamics. It forced the Chinese factions to reconsider their priorities. The Kuomintang, or KMT, and the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, had to address the external threat while dealing with internal conflicts. This period of invasion and war shaped China's modern history. Section 5. Emergence of the Kuomintang and the Chinese Communist Party. The early 20th century saw the rise of two major political forces in China. The Kuomintang, or Nationalist Party, was founded by Sun Yat-sen. It aimed to unify China and establish a democratic government. The KMT was based on Sun's three principles of the people. In contrast, the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, was founded in 1921. It was inspired by Marxist-Leninist ideology and sought to establish a socialist state. The CCP's early leaders included figures like Mao Zedong and Zhou Enlai. The party initially focused on organizing the working class and peasants. The KMT and CCP had different visions for China's future. However, they were initially willing to cooperate. In 1924, they formed the First United Front to fight against warlords and imperialist forces. This alliance, though fragile, marked the beginning of a complex relationship. The emergence of these two parties set the stage for future conflicts. Both sought to control and modernize China, but had different methods and ideologies. Their rivalry would eventually lead to a full-scale civil war. Understanding the origins of the KMT and CCP is crucial for grasping China's contemporary history. Section 6. Cooperation and conflict between KMT and CCP. The cooperation between the KMT and CCP was short-lived. The First United Front achieved some successes, including the Northern Expedition. This military campaign aimed to unify China by defeating warlords. However, ideological differences and power struggles soon surfaced. By 1927, the alliance had broken down. Chiang Kai-shek, who had taken leadership of the KMT, turned against the communists. The Shanghai Massacre of 1927 saw thousands of CCP members killed. This event marked the beginning of a bitter conflict between the two parties. Despite their differences, both parties had to occasionally cooperate against common threats. The Second Sino-Japanese War forced another temporary alliance, known as the Second United Front. Both KMT and CCP recognized the need to resist Japanese aggression. However, mutual distrust persisted. The periods of cooperation did little to bridge the ideological divide. Both parties continued to build their own power bases. The KMT controlled urban centers and had international support. The CCP focused on rural areas, gaining the support of peasants. These dynamics set the stage for the eventual civil war. Section 7. Key battles and strategies during the Civil War. The Nationalist-Communist Civil War officially began in 1946. The conflict was a struggle for control over China. It followed the end of the World War II and the defeat of Japan. The KMT, led by Chiang Kai-shek, and the CCP, led by Mao Zedong, were the main contenders. The war saw several key battles and strategic moves. The CCP adopted guerrilla warfare tactics, leveraging their support in rural areas. The KMT, with its superior numbers and equipment, initially had the upper hand. However, corruption and poor governance weakened the nationalist forces. One significant battle was the Huaihai campaign, fought from late 1948 to early 1949. This battle was a turning point, resulting in a decisive victory for the CCP. The success of the communists was due to effective strategy and popular support. The KMT's losses in this campaign were catastrophic. The CCP's strategies focused on winning the hearts and minds of the people. Land reforms and promises of social justice resonated with the rural population. The nationalists, on the other hand, struggled with internal divisions and loss of public support. These factors contributed to the eventual communist victory. Section 8. Creation of the People's Republic of China and the division. The Chinese Civil War ended in 1949 with the CCP's victory. On October 1, 1949, Mao Zedong proclaimed the establishment of the People's Republic of China. Chiang Kai-shek and the remnants of the KMT retreated to Taiwan. The division created two distinct political entities, the PRC on the mainland and the ROC in Taiwan. The division also set the stage for ongoing tensions between the mainland and Taiwan.